Hey everyone, Updog here, and today we got another round of my Origin Stories series, and today we have Cleaning Agent with us. How's it going, Cleaning Agent?
Oh, peachy keen, jelly bean.
Thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it, man. So, I originally wanted to do a video with you because you're always very disappointed with the game, right? Is that putting it too nicely?
I mean, okay, as of recently, I could see where you felt that, yes.
Okay. So
and I don't know if it's disappointment with the game as much as boredom with the game.
Okay.
Or just overworked in the game. Is that something
valid.
you could even
say?
That's
definitely valid. So my original thought was like, okay, well, what will it take for Cleaning Agent to be more excited about this game like he was when in the first few months that he started playing? So we'll get to that, but I've decided to turn it into more of my Origin Story style format, and we'll cover that and a bunch more other things. So and then Cleaning Agent, when can we catch you? You stream on Twitch and you do a little bit of YouTube, right?
Yeah, YouTube's probably dead because I'm too lazy to edit anything. But Twitch, I'm on Twitch Tuesdays and Fridays. What your Eastern time? Usually about 9 o'clock Eastern time, 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Cool. And you go pretty late sometimes. For you, it's pretty late for you.
Yeah, because I only stream twice a week, so I usually stream for 5 or 6 hours, and you can guarantee almost none of it is Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah. Yes, I'm very well aware. You even got in trouble.
Hey, it's not even my fault. It's because chat wants to do other things. Okay, let's be honest. Yep. Chat really guides the streams.
Exactly.
So if you want to come and have me play more MSF, come on in and we'll do that.
I mean, chat even made me I'm almost to a Gear 19 Merc Lieutenant, so I know how it goes, buddy.
Exactly.
But you almost got in trouble a little bit with Twitch, didn't you? About not actually playing the game that you're streaming?
What? Who told you that?
You said something about it on one of your streams.
I don't know.
I'm always lurking.
I say a lot of things. None of them are remembered.
Oh, gotcha. Except for by me.
No. Yeah, I was probably saying, like, I'm probably going to get in trouble with Twitch for saying I'm streaming Marvel Strike Force and not playing any of it. I should just be on just chatting or something stupid, right? Like,
yeah, okay.
But it's the community of Marvel Strike Force. Yeah, no, it's the community of Marvel Strike Force that keeps me playing this game and keeps me streaming. So that's what I stream under most of the time.
Gotcha. Looks like Steven says he hears that you have YouTube Shorts.
I have done some YouTube shorts. Again, I'm too lazy to do more. But when I moved across the country, I literally moved across Canada. I did a bunch of YouTube shorts on the road of me just like in the car, just acting like an idiot. To keep myself awake because I did like, I don't know. You guys are in miles. I did 1,500 kilometers, which is about 800 miles or something. In 4 days or something. So it was like a lot of driving.
Gotcha.
So just to stay awake, I did some stupid YouTube stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Well, so let's get started on some of these Marvel Strike Force questions. I know you're not very excited about it, but I do appreciate it.
No, I'm excited to talk. I'm always excited to talk about Marvel Strike Force. It's playing Marvel Strike Force that I don't enjoy.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, did you get a chance to look up and see how many days played you're currently sitting at?
Oh, yeah. So days played is like the one thing I am proud of and most embarrassed about. Because as far as I know, I'm the longest continual playing player that still plays this game.
Okay.
And at that, free to play. So like, I put in a lot of time and just wasted a lot of time. So as of today, I'm 2,354 days into Marvel Strike Force. And I can tell you with almost certainty, I have not missed a day played since I installed the game.
Wow, that is impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, so like y'all are celebrating 6 years of game, and I'm like 6.5 years in. I'm like, this was 6 months ago, you guys. Like, come on.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. And not taking any breaks over that time. That's even more impressive. So,
Yeah, I mean, breaks, like, I've logged in and got my dailies. I've definitely slacked in some raids, you know what I'm saying?
right. But not like... So, like you said, you logged in to collect your dailies. Is that sometimes all you do? And not done raids?
Yeah,
or,
I mean,
okay.
when I'm, like, getting married or on vacation,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes the wife is like, can you just put the game down, you know? Can you just put it down? So I do the dailies, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. But no, like, big stretches, like 6 months
No.
or a couple months.
Again, I've always logged in and I've always contributed to my alliance.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Mm-hmm. Have you always been, I'm assuming you haven't, but have you always been in the same alliance, or how many alliances have you been in?
I'd say probably half a dozen at this point. So when I first started, like, again, it was beta. I was just like, I think it was like mid-November or something when I started playing. Because I was like, oh, it's coming on Christmas time. It's a slow time. I'm going to have time to do a little more gaming on my phone. Because, like, we travel when we're around the holidays.
Yeah.
So I was like, if we're traveling, I'll just download a game on my phone so I can play around and whatever. And so I found Marvel Strike Force, and it was like similar to whatever that Facebook game was, Marvel Avengers Alliance. Yeah, something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a similar game. It's Marvel IP, which I enjoy, so I'm going to give this a go. Mm-hmm. And then, just kind of kept playing. But I was very casual in the beginning. Like, I didn't look for an alliance. I was just kind of thrown into whatever random alliance. And, I wasn't max-minning anything. I was just playing for the enjoyment of, yes, Spider-Man's my favorite character. I get to unlock him right now. They've got me hook, line, and sinker, right? Mm-hmm. Even though he was trash. But, then eventually I was like, oh, I can actually, do good in this game by trying. Mm-hmm. And getting into a good alliance is very important, so I did that. And so, yeah, I've only been in, like, 3 serious alliances, and I've only ever moved when those alliances, like, fully crumbled or disbanded. I was a leader of an alliance for, like, 2 or 3 years. And then I had to merge with another alliance, and I was so happy to give up leadership. I'll never go back. Yeah, like you name it, I've done it in the game probably, except for spend money.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, except for the only thing Scopely wants from me. That's the only thing I've yet to do.
Yeah, that was gonna be one of my questions was, some people are like, oh, I've been free to play for the last couple years, but I've been playing for like 4 years or something. So,
right.
You've been free to play the whole time, so awesome.
Yeah, like some older players will remember T-Dub, who used to stream Marvel Strike Force a lot. I was the reason T-Dub stopped allowing free-to-play players on Whale Confessions, because people got pissed off. They're like, they didn't spend any money. They're no whales. This isn't a whale confession. Get out of here. And they were upset that, like, I had a high TCP and, like, I did good in this game without spending money, and they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So, I ruined everything for the free to play.
Oh man. So you said that just like the Marvel IP was that the only thing that drew you to the game, or was there anything else? Was it the MCU excitement, or?
Yeah, no, Marvel in general. I've always been a fan of Marvel comic books, the movies, and up until recent 5 years. Mm-hmm. I've always enjoyed Marvel and Marvel IP. And then again, like I said, I played that other game, and it was like a similar feel. I liked the idea of like, oh, the characters have the abilities like in the comics, right? So that was cool to me, and like the team dynamic and being able to like mix and match teams to see how people interacted with each other was kind of cool. Okay. Obviously, that didn't last long, and it's always fading into the background. But there's, you can still do it if you don't want to succeed. You can still do it.
Yep. Gotcha. All right. Let's see here. So, I sent you this question: what keeps you wanting to play the game? I'm not. I'm interested to hear what your response will be on this.
Yeah. I'll answer it as best I can.
Okay.
Streaming to the MSF community is, I think, right now, the only reason I still play this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I really, I used to really enjoy playing with my alliance as well, but even now, I've been in the alliance I'm in now for maybe a year, 2 years, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell over time, everything just blurs together,
Yeah.
but even now, all the kind of try-hard players in this alliance are just we got to go to, the top 50, top 100 alliances, because otherwise you're wasting your time in this game. Which just, hurts our alliance, one, because, they help carry us, but two, because it's hard to find replacements. So it's just, always a struggle to fill alliances, and it's just, getting hard to care about your alliance now, too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless you're all on the same page, which is hard to find, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, I've been the leader of my alliance for at least 3 years. Like you said, time goes by really, really fast, and it's hard to tell. But it's definitely harder to find replacements in the higher levels. So
yeah, so it's funny. The only reason I'm playing the game is to stream with people who play the game.
Right.
And while I'm streaming, I don't play the game.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I'm playing the game during the day when I don't want to, just so I can stream it at night and not play the game. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm such a confused state right now. I don't know what I'm thinking anymore. But
that's okay.
Maybe we can debunk this a little bit further when you ask more questions about what's going on.
Well, we'll get to the meat of the video here. What will it take for Cleaning Agent to become super over the moon, up in the clouds about this game? What will turn you back around? Let's turn the clock back to a few months into the game and how excited you were. What would it take to get back to that point?
So, I mean, a few months into the game, again, as I said, I was very casual, and so that's kind of where I'm at now, which is fine. The problem is, there's how many game modes in this game? Can you tell me?
Well, we got Raids or Crucible. If you want to call Blitz a game mode, I guess.
Yep.
So
RTA is there, whether you play it or not, it's there.
So 3 main ones.
And then you got your Dark Dimensions, I'd say, are game mode of their own. Yeah. And then your Legendary Releases is kind of game mode or whatever, right? There's a bunch of Arena. There's a bunch of modes. The problem is there's too many modes and too many of the same modes, really. Let's be honest. RTA and Blitz are the same thing. Right. Mm-hmm. Arena is pretty much it, and that's the name of this game, right? It's a team of 5 against a team of 5. That's what we signed up for. Yeah. But I've been playing these game modes for 6.5 years, man. It just, you get tired of it. It's just it's not fun anymore. Nobody thinks Blitz is fun, I don't think, anymore.
Right.
So it's I think they really need to strip away the old game mode somehow, whether it's once you hit a certain level, you don't have to play those game modes anymore, or you get auto. The milestones on Blitz are auto given to your mailbox at level 90, and you never have to play it.
Yeah.
And that opens it up for the leaderboards for newer players who actually utilize those game modes for character shards and ability materials or whatever it is. It's in there, right?
Yep.
They can make those early game modes, full stop, and then focus on later game modes like CC and Battle World, if it ever comes out, for late game players to break it down so you don't have to be on your phone for 6 hours a day just to get through that trash, right? Even raids, to a point is raids are great when they're just released, and it's you have to figure out how to beat the team comps and make it through, and your alliance is pushing as a whole to get through 100% it or whatever. But after 2 weeks, it's a dead game mode.
Yeah.
Because all you want to do is sim it, because you don't want to spend the countless hours going through that on a daily basis. It's just there's too much. It's too much for me. So anyway, to answer your question, what will it take me to get over the moon? That remove the redundancies.
Okay.
Introducing new game modes obviously would help in doing that.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of allowing your, as a free to play, it's like it's a life choice. You are choosing to max min, resource management this game, and utilize restarting a node 1,000 times to get the RNG right, or like just find the right team comp that slipped by the developers to get unlocks for like late game content, because that's all I'm waiting on is late game content, right?
Yeah.
So stargating is just kills it for me. It just kills it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no skill. There's no skill in that.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, it's not helping the whales. The whales already have all of the star requirements anyway. Yeah. So either introduce a whole bunch more content for the whales to like mow down on, and make it hard enough that mid-game players need to work at it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Well, the problem I think is like it's too much work, right? It's just too much work because they have too many characters that they don't understand, and so they can't balance the difficulties to make that a viable option.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And sure, if that's the problem, sorry, you put yourself into that by making overly complex characters.
Correct.
But two, it's like people are just going to lose interest because they, especially late game, they're just not going to be able to find interest in being gated for no reason,
Yeah, true. Now, we had Kiln Tower that only had 3 characters. I know you said 5, it's every mode uses 5 characters. What did you think of Kiln? Let's just go with the first iteration of Kiln.
Okay. First iteration of Kiln, I'd say, is the best Blitz mode.
Okay.
So let's be honest, Kiln is just Blitz.
Right.
You're just facing an almost never-ending, tower of teams, just like Blitz, and the higher you go, the harder it gets until you fall. Kiln was the best it's been first iteration.
Okay, yep, okay. Yeah, I know there was some more paywalling type stuff going on there, and I tried to do it without spending to get into those highest levels too, and it was just impossible.
Yeah, and 100%. The first Kiln, I got through it, free to play. Second Kiln
was challenging though, right? The first iteration was challenging.
Top,
right?
Absolutely. I did have to build up some characters. Yeah. I had to take the time to find the characters that worked for my roster.
Yep.
But I made it through. This one, I didn't even try because there was no chance.
Yeah.
And going forward, I see it the same thing. So to me, Kiln is kind of they had a good potential, and they ruined the only good Blitz mode they had.
Yeah. I agree. Well,
I'm gonna come off as such a downer a-hole in this video, man. Like,
that's
unreal.
Okay. Hey, I'd rather have the truth. Let's see. Steven was saying, let's hope Clean Agent says, please add nipples.
I do enjoy the Hulk. I'm a big advocate of the nipples. I find it sad that they just remove them.
Yep.
But what can I say? I understand it too. It's like minor on my list of happiness, but it would make me happy.
Yeah. Gotcha. So you're big into the comics. Is there any character that's not in the game yet that you'd like to see?
That was a good question and a hard question. So I don't actually read a lot of comics. I'm just a fan of the Marvel comics.
Oh, I see.
Like, I know a lot of the characters. I watched like all the cartoons growing up.
Okay.
So like X-Men '97 is like so great right now because it's like bringing back my childhood love. But on my stream, I do like superpower rants where people like bring a character to me and like say rant about this, and I learn about all kinds of crazy characters.
Yep.
But that said, any characters I'd like to see in the game, I've got a couple answers for you.
Okay.
Blade for like popular choice.
Okay.
You know, people have been begging for Blade for a long time. He's a super cool character. I mean, get Morbius the hell out of here. Blade would be super cool. I also have... I've also disagreed with all of the player vote for characters, except for Sasquatch. Okay. Sasquatch was the only one I didn't, but I really wanted Werewolf by Night coming into the game, and I think
so did I.
When I think about it, it's not because like I love Werewolf by Night, but him as a character being like this only half in control of his power, and like the potential for him to like in game go off and attack even his own team would be incredible to me. Like, I'm just trying to think of characters that would like really add new dynamic to the game, right? Like, Werewolf by Night is super good, but there's a chance he'll take out your team as well as the enemy team. Because he loses control and goes full werewolf, right? Like that would be super fun to me.
That would be cool.
Werewolf by Night was one for that, and then the third one is because I was watching X-Men 97. I was like, Morph would be a fun character to add to the game. Because, Mystique kind of like touched the surface on other characters, but if Morph could actually like have the kits of other characters like the enemies have on board, that would be like so cool to me, right? Like, and bring a huge new dynamic to the game, I think. So, I think like Morph, Werewolf by Night, things that could potentially really change up the mechanics would be fun. So those are kind of the three I was thinking.
I know when Rogue was first announced, but we didn't know her kit. I know some people were kind of theorizing that Rogue, she can steal people's powers, so maybe she could copy another character's kit. That would be really cool to see.
And they didn't even touch on it. Pun included.
Yes, exactly. But, Scopely does like their RNG, so I do like that idea of Werewolf by Night attacking your own tean. That would be
100%,
kind of cool.
100%.
And then especially, like, if you have that in raids, too. Fun. Like, in a raid, like an enemy in raids, so the enemy would be attacking themselves. So, that would be awesome. All right, so very good.
That's what I dream about in the game now, anyway.
Yeah. Good choices, good answers. So, do you have any favorite game modes?
Again, I had to think long and hard about this one.
Okay.
I don't really care for any of the game modes, but what still kind of gets me engaged and like excited is 10 minutes before a close war ends.
Oh, yeah.
And both teams are really just pulling all the punches, trying to get 1,000 more points at this point, right? Like 1,000 more points before the clock ends.
Yeah.
That's like the funnest 10 minutes of the game. And then like, and it only happens like once every 3 months, right? Like it's like so crazy.
Yeah.
That to me is probably the funnest part of the game right now. So I guess I hate to say it, War is my favorite game mode.
Okay, you heard it here first, everyone. War is Clean Age's favorite game mode.
I just don't feel like any other game mode gets you that like on edge because it's like the only live game mode, right? CC isn't like that because it's like you don't find out until it's over. What the other score is. But War is like the live statistics you see. Oh, I'm behind by 1,000 points. I have to take another room. Get people up on Discord. Like get them out of bed. We gotta push through this. And like it just gets you amped up. It gets you like actually involved, right? And I don't feel that from any other game mode. So
for me, that happened a lot more a couple of years ago than it does now. Like you said, every couple months. But a few years ago, it was happening like maybe 3 times a month, 4 times a month, something like that. At least for where I was, anyway. Is that about the same kind of experience you had, or?
Yeah, I think I feel about the same about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so
and I think you know what that might be because of was that with Heroes for Hire meta?
Yeah, that might have been part of
was
it.
Was it like the peak defensive meta where you couldn't clear, so it was like actual best score wins?
Yeah, But we also had where we didn't get all of our attacks right up front. We got our last attack energy at like, I don't know, was it 4 hours left or something like that? And so
exactly right.
Some people would
kind of
sit on all of their attacks until towards the end. At least where I was anyway. I know a lot of the top alliances would just buy all their refreshes ahead of time and then
yes, because first to clear one, right? Yeah.
If we made Crucible, so I've had a few instances on Crucible on my streams where we've had both opponents on the stream and one person would attack, the other person would attack, and go back and forth. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Absolutely. Again, it's way more engaging, right? Because it's like it's live. You know the score. It's like watching a live sporting event, right? Like it doesn't compare to I'm playing this game, I'll find out tomorrow if I win, like whatever. Or raids where it says, please, for the love of God, let me sim through this time. You know, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
So like anytime where there's like some sort of stakes live in front of you, it obviously makes the game a little more enjoyable to me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun when we've been able to get both people on at the same time and go back and forth and do a score check halfway through and say, oh, this person's a few points ahead or whatever. Hope he doesn't drop the next room.
Down by 12. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, haven't the Envoys kind of been pushing for like a Envoy tournament or like CC tournament or something like that to actually happen in CC?
They are...
So like that would bring a life to the game, right?
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it exactly or if they're going to do it, but they're looking into how they can logistically pull it off, because I think they want to do it on the test server and they want to do
that would make sense to me.
They want to do it showcasing like a new season, like if a new season starts or getting close to a new season for Crucible starting. So
that totally makes sense, because then it kind of gives people a little like taste of, oh, here's the new season. And you get to see some of your favorite CCs win and or more importantly lose, right? Like
I think more people would be there for the losses.
100%, right? Like, but that to me sounds like a fun thing to watch, right? Hopefully they can get something together like that. But right off the bat, test server made sense to me because it has no in-game impact, right?
Right. And for some reason they've said that the Tournament 32 that everybody was so popular, for some reason that is very hard for them to pull off just out of the blue or just random. Like we had that 1 week down where we were down Crucible for a week. It's
a very fragile framework,
I guess.
So they have to be very careful. They don't they don't want to overdo it, They got to put these servers to bed by 8 p.m., like come on.
So hopefully we get one of those again. I mean, everybody loved it, so maybe, I don't know. I just hope sometime it'll happen again, but anyway. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming a streamer? I know I've heard a little bit, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I do like to do these interviews, because usually a lot of the times we're either streaming at the same time or maybe our schedules just don't match up very well. So I know you've said that COVID kind of really pushed you into streaming a little bit, right? But can you kind of tell us, how it started and everything like that?
Yeah, 100%. So again, like a lot of streamers, COVID, I think, pushed them into it. But for myself, I'm a trained theater actor. Believe it or not, if you've seen my streams. If you've seen my MSF theater, you wouldn't believe it. But I'm a trained theater actor, so I did a lot of acting pre-COVID. But then once everything got shut down, live theater wasn't an option, obviously. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I should just try streaming. I'd been watching Mobile Gamer and, the big CC content creators for a while just because of the game. I was like, well, this is something stupid I could do. They're just being stupid and having fun. And I already play the game anyway, so I might as well start with this game, right? And so, it was just kind of like, oh, this is an outlet for me to be somewhat creative when I can't be doing live theater. And so that's kind of where it all kind of started up for me. And and so that's why on my streams too, I was like, what's something that's not being done in Marvel Strike Force streams? And that's creating this like reader's theater, bringing the stupid Scopely stories off the page a little bit by giving them goofy voices and having guests, make fools of themselves. So, it's just something fun to do that's not typically what the game is, meant to be. Right. But like, I've also done like, I call them Dark Dimension fun runs, where like the chat would pick the team based on everybody wearing purple or shoeless characters, or they have the Marvel Mothers tag right now. We would do things like that, right? Like a team of 5 based on some Marvel characteristic or some weird offshoot characteristic, and see how that team performs. And we'd go into like Dark Dimension 3 or whatever, right? And just see how they perform. I see how fun it is, right?
I see like things like that on Facebook all the time, like, oh, this is my Floor is Lava team, where they're all just floating up above the air or whatever, or this is my Doctor team. Something like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that Marvel Strike Force, what is it called? MSF Theater?
MSF Theater.
Honestly a really great idea, and I love that you do that. So please don't stop doing that.
Well, shout out if you're watching this video and it's up. I usually do MSF Theater every Friday. It starts around 8 p.m. Eastern. So
yep, definitely pop in. And I like how you save like some of the new campaigns that come out. You wait until Fridays to do those, so that you can actually do the content. So that's great.
And the other thing is, like, most people, let's be honest, you're spending 6 hours playing this game, you're not going to read through the bullshit story, so you just skip all of that. Exactly. So it gives you a moment to actually enjoy and see the story for the first time.
Yep, exactly, yep. Alright, well, what about your history with gaming in general? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. I was just a bright-eyed, bushy-haired boy of 6. Yep. When I got the first Nintendo Entertainment System, and from there I've been a Nintendo kid. I've always been a Nintendo kid. I never got into PlayStation or Sega, although I did play both of those at friends' houses. That's how you did it back in the day, right? Everybody had their own.
Exactly.
Brand system, and then you went and played at these houses.
So you were the Nintendo house in your houses.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I've been playing games for forever, right? And growing up with my brother, we were like 2 years apart, so we would always be playing multiplayer games. So I've always been into multiplayer games specifically. More than just like playing a game by myself, like an RPG. I don't mind them, but I just don't get it's invested as like playing with somebody or against somebody. So this game kind of has that with the alliances and things like that. And CC, you're going up against real people, which is nice, but it's a mobile game, so it can only go so far. But aside from that, I don't know. I've just
followed along. You did
been playing
SNES, then you went to, what was it, the GameCube or something?
Yeah, well, I think Virtual Boy was in there somewhere.
Virtual Boy, I can't forget that one.
Oh, yes, you can.
That was just a red screen, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I went through all the Nintendos until I don't have like a Nintendo Switch or anything. Like I've kind of left console gaming for PC now. Okay. But once my kid, who's 4 and currently doing my blitzing, once he's a little older, we're gonna get back into the Nintendo. I'll tell you that.
Yep, it's fun. I've been having my kids play our Switch too, so it's been fun. And
for sure.
For them to experience like the original Super Mario Brothers and playing like the Sonic games that I grew up with. It's been a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah. I guess the other thing about gaming with me is like I'm very particular, and I don't play new games very much at all. Like all the majority of games I play are older games. I was like a huge StarCraft fan.
Okay.
Played StarCraft forever. Counter-Strike, I played Counter-Strike. I still play Counter-Strike. Like 20 years later, I'm still playing Counter-Strike. I suck at it, but it's like something nostalgic that I can just like pop on, play a couple rounds, get utterly humiliated with my horrible accuracy.
Yeah.
And then just like pop off, right? Like it's just quick and easy.
Yep.
But I also will like happily jump on when I'm streaming with Purple Sticky and go hunting and do games, any kind of multiplayer games with people. I'm down for. So
Burnsy in chat was saying, I've always wanted to know how Cleaning Agent came up with his name.
It's not really a interesting story. It was just like, I got an Xbox, or I was playing Xbox with at a friend's house. We used to do like LAN party, Halo, which was super fun in college. And I had to create an Xbox name. I was like trying to be clever, being like, oh, Cleaning Agent can be like a cleaning product or somebody who cleans up dead bodies, right? Like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like, it's a dual meaning, so I just stuck with that. The only other real gaming tag I've had was like Dodging Sanity or something, which is like whatever, right? So I was like, okay, when I start my YouTube channel or my Twitch, am I going to do Dodging Sanity or Cleaning Agent? And then I noticed my son had this miniature mop that he didn't really utilize, so I was like, okay, well, that's the sign right there. And, it's got to be Cleaning Agent, and we've been keeping it clean ever since.
Nice, that's awesome. Cool. Well,
and now my son requests, actually, he's like, hey, Daddy, can I use the mop? I'm like, no, it's mine now.
Yeah. You had a chance, son.
That's right. You dropped the ball on that one, boy.
Yeah. It's a life lesson for you.
Yeah. So.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, like other interests in real life you have? I know it can be a little bit of a touchy subject, so if you don't want to, that's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Is that a touchy subject?
Well, I mean, it can be for some people.
I guess it depends on your life, right? But
yeah.
I mean, my life's pretty boring. I'm a stay-at-home dad until my kid goes to school. So he's going to like preschool come the fall. So that'll open me up. I'll probably get back to work shortly after that. Okay. But I've been a stay-at-home dad since he was born because COVID hit. Right. I got laid off. So I was like, I guess I'm going to be staying at home. And, just living off of EI for a bit.
Yep.
And then my wife actually is, a working lady who is career driven and actually makes money and cares about work. So she is definitely the breadwinner, and I'm the guy who plays at home with his son all day. Yeah, but like aside from that, I love watching bad movies. I love watching good movies. I just don't have the time to do it as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I like going camping, hiking, board games. I love a good board game night. Yeah, just awesome. Pretty run of the mill guy.
Yep. Pretty average dude, huh?
pretty average dude. Nah, yeah, not too crazy.
Okay.
But, yeah, unless you want to get deep down into like, my parents' divorce when I was younger and how it had a deep impact on my life moving forward and my trust issues to this day. Like, we can go there too, but it's up to you, man.
If you want to, I mean, I had the same.
I mean, we've already
happened.
We've already delved pretty dark into the hatred of Marvel Strike Force. We might as well get into other dark parts of my life now.
Yeah.
No, we can keep that pretty light for the video, but. If anybody wants to know, I'm happy to talk about it.
Gotcha. All right. Sounds good. Well, to kind of finish it off then, I guess, who do you think is the best and worst MCU villains?
Okay, so it's tough because there's been a lot of bad MCU recently. So, like, how can I pick just one? I still feel like, and maybe it's a cop-out, but I think Thanos was one of the better written villains.
Okay.
Just because, like, he was given the time to, like, I guess, percolate his story or give him the proper character arc that was deserved of a good villain. A not so, on the nose answer would probably be I really like Vulture in the Spider-Man Homecoming, just because he's a regular dude that's like just trying to do the best for his family and like gets in kind of too far on the dark side, and that's the way it is, right? So that to me feels like a plausible thing, and so if it's believable, I think it's a pretty well done villain. As far as worst, again, I couldn't pick. I said anybody from the Thor movies. Take your pick.
Okay, gotcha. Even Loki,
they're all trash. I mean, Loki wasn't the central villain though, right? In the Thor movies, in the Avenger movie, he was.
Yeah.
But Hela was okay. But again, pretty one note as far as villains. Yeah. I couldn't even tell you who was the villain in the first Thor. The second Thor movie was in some sort of elf or something. It's just bad, right? I don't know.
Yeah, true.
So I'd probably go that way. But
considering what happened with Jonathan Majors, do you think Kang would be up there as well? Is one of the worst?
So I haven't seen Quantumanium.
Oh. Okay.
Because again, I'm just kind of I was kind of done with Marvel for a while, and if it wasn't really, really bad or really, really good, I wasn't watching it. So I watched Secret Invasion because it was really, really bad. And it did not disappoint. And then I'll probably watch Deadpool and Wolverine because it'll probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the in between, I didn't watch because if I'm not gonna hate it and just make fun of it, or I'm not gonna love it, I just don't really have time to watch it. So
yeah. Well, knowing that, or now that we know that King is probably gonna be, they'll erased
from the multiverse.
Yeah, something's gonna obviously happen. They're gonna probably say something about it, he's been, or Loki's controlling him or whatever. But
yeah,
so I think it would be worth it.
I did watch the season 2 of Loki because shout out to Benny Westside. He was doing a little video review of some Marvel stuff.
Yep.
And he was kind enough to allow me to rant and rave on his videos.
Yep.
But I think at the end of Loki 2, they could just pretty much drop Kang altogether because the TVA is taking care of it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well,
it's a pretty easy sweep under the rug if they want.
Well, so considering what we know, what's going to happen now with him, I would say it would probably fall into the really bad category for you, that you should at least watch it and see what happens to Kang in Quantumania. So
Quantumania? Yeah, okay. I might put it on the list.
Yeah. All right.
That's legit.
So my last question was, what future MCU projects are you looking forward to? Now, I should probably say, are there any future MCU projects that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, again, Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, I'm a softie for Wolverine. I still don't know if Hugh Jackman's the best Wolverine, but he has made it a great character for what it is. No qualms about it. It's good. And so, it should be a fun movie that's probably not too intense on moving the greater Marvel universe story forward. So I'll be okay with just a entertaining movie there.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd say I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to more seasons of X-Men 97.
Okay.
Or whatever they call it in the future.
Right.
I just found out that there's a season 2 that's already pretty much written.
Oh, wow.
So,
cool.
Yeah, so I won't be mad about that. And Fantastic Four, they've botched it so many times.
Yeah. True.
Can Pedro save the day?
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
So I'm curious whether it's a train wreck or wonderful. I'm curious for that movie.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I agree. All right. Well, let's see. Let me check chat here real quick. I thought I saw a question.
Yeah, chat. Hit me with your best shot, chat. Yeah, Steven says Fox has messed up Fantastic Four so many times.
Yeah.
That's totally fair, but I mean, Disney's messed up a few things along the way too, so.
True. And Sony has as well.
To be honest, I think that I think Fantastic Four is a very hard group, and stories about, like, their stories are pretty hard to put on screen, I think, you know.
True.
They're just very complex, and there's a lot of moving parts, so I think it's not easy. It's not an easy task, so that's why I'm kind of hoping for a train wreck, but we'll see. Burger King questions only. Cleaning agent loves a good Whopper hamburger. That's okay. So, for those of you who don't know what Portland RoboCop is referring to, I somehow got roped into doing IRL streams again, avoiding Marvel Strike Force gameplay. And once upon a time on stream, I had my first Big Mac burger because I'd never been really a fan of McDonald's. I've never had a Big Mac. And a buddy of mine was staying over at my place, and he was out walking his dog. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna grab some McDonald's. You want anything?" So I was like, I told Chad about it. I was like, "I've never really had a Big Mac," so we got one and ate it on stream. And rightfully so, I've never had another Big Mac. But then we got into other things, like, and then I had to go try the Whopper because I've never had a Whopper before. So I went to. And then that's what the IRL started. I was like, okay, I'm taking chat with me. We're going to the drive-thru and we're gonna order some Whoppers, and it was brutal. I went to Tim Hortons, which is, you know, a very popular Canadian coffee shop chain, which I wanted to show chat that it is garbage and it shouldn't be popular at all. And then, of course, chat influences me while I'm there, being like, hey, talk like Keanu Reeves and whatever, and so I make a fool of myself, right? Like, it is what it is.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm doing a lot of weird IRL stream stuff, and I'm thinking, like, should I stop, because Mobile Gamer's getting into the IRL stream stuff, and he's making it look good. Like, he's got gimblies and like proper microphones, and like, he's looking profesh, man, and I'm just like a blurry mess running out of a restaurant once I've thoroughly embarrassed myself. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, I guess the one differential is, do you know how to cook salmon properly?
I don't eat fish, but I know how to cook. I would probably still know how to cook salmon properly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm actually might be doing some IRL streams on. I got a vacation coming up here in a few weeks, so I'm thinking about that, and it's going to be at one of the largest lakes in America. So I thought, why not maybe do some of that? So we'll see how that goes. But
yeah, that's awesome.
I think the only IRL one I've ever caught for you was going to Walmart. So.
Oh, when it was closed.
Yeah.
What? It just dissolved into chaos, that whole IRL stream. So Walmart is closed. The hours on the website are wrong. They yell at me saying they're closed. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's go to McDonald's. I can't remember why. I've never had a fish fillet. I don't eat fish. But chat's like, get the fish fillet. I'm like, okay, well, we like to try gross sandwiches. Let's do it. I'm going to McDonald's. They're not serving fish. Their deep fryers are down because they're cleaning them. I'm like, what kind of fast show are you running here? Like, you're the biggest fast food chain in the world, and this is the quality of service. But so I couldn't even do that. I ended up at some drugstore and bought a hacky sack. So I mean, I don't know. IRL streams are always off the rails. I'll tell you that.
I think you need to try a McRib next.
I did a McRib.
Oh, you did do a McRib. Okay. And how was that?
I never had a McRib. It was horrible. And then on top of everything, I eat this nasty McRib, and then somebody else goes into chat and's like, have you ever had the shamrock shake. I was
Oh
like,
my
what
God.
is that?
Oh my God.
And I ordered the biggest one, which was a huge mistake, and it was just downhill from there.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was bad.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if you heard the phrase, but the McRib in America is referred to as the deadbeat dad of the fast food of McDonald's food. It always comes around.
I could see
It
that.
only comes around
Yeah,
like
I know
once a
that.
year or whatever.
Once a year, yeah, when it's looking for its money.
Yep.
Give me your money. It's so gross. And like the consistency of the meat was it was almost gelatinous. Like I literally ate a portion of it without chewing. I was like, I could just swallow this. It would just form down my gullet. It was nasty, man. It was nasty anyway.
Oh, man. Well, it's always great to talk to you, man. I appreciate you coming on and telling us your origin story. And yeah,
Dude, it's an absolute pleasure. And may I say, thank you for being one of the hardest working MSF content creators out there. Like, you're helping so many people on your streams get through content. You're producing content like on a weekly basis on, time savers of what to save for what events and what have you. You work too hard. So I hope you enjoy that vacation.
Yes, it would be well deserved, I think. So, all right. Well, I will put a link down to Cleaning Agent's Twitch stream. At least sounds like YouTube is dead. His words, not mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, thanks again for coming on, and we will catch you all the next one. See ya.
Cheers.